Hello, internet viewers. I'm the Fairly OddGamer. Well, this has been a long time coming. I finally get to review the latest addition to the Illusion series, and here it is.
For those who are unaware, Disney Illusion Island was announced at D23 Expo the exact day I posted the Land of Illusion review with Sonicify. If that's not intentional, then I don't know what is. But after seeing some gameplay footage, it looked like one of these co-op games like Rayman Legends or even New Super Mario Bros. For the Wii. Up until that point, I've covered all the Illusion games minus Power of Illusion, which is technically a spin-off of Epic Mickey's sequel, The Power of Two. And why is that? Because I have no possible way of recording footage from a 3DS yet. It's pretty cool getting to play as Mickey and Donald again like a World of Illusion. However, what really got my attention was that it's the first Illusion game in which Minnie and Goofy are playable. You heard right, the Fab Four are all playable in this game, which is amazing.
So to finally finish the Illusion quota, I can now review the latest game in this series, Disney Illusion Island for the Nintendo Switch. By the way, would I technically count the Switch as a console or a handheld? Anyway, with that being said, I wonder if Sonicify would join me again.
Dear me, I'm on obligation to avoid the inevitable Illusion Island review that I know you will force me to do. Ha ha ha, Sonicify.
Not on my watch. I wish Sonicify was back home for the review.
Yes, hi, I'd like to buy some edibles, please. Hey, this isn't San Francisco. And this isn't my shirt!
Hey Sonicify, sorry to disturb you in your vacation. Anyway, it appears that you need it for another Illusion game.
Looks like you've got a lot of nerve bringing me back here. Last time I recall, you got us trapped in the world of illusion.
You do realize that it was all Pete's doing, not mine.
Well, gee, if I were you, I would have done a lot harder to stop him instead of, standing there!
Look, I'm not saying we're going to sue him. I'm just saying we have a case.
Shadowflare?
We'll talk later. Hey, Fairly OddGamer, how's it going?
It's going alright. I'm just about to start the Disney Illusion Island review. Oh, and Sonicify's here.
Oh, God, who's this doofus?
Nice to meet you, too.
Were you forced to do game reviews with Gamer too?
Actually, Marchio was my idea.
And yet, you reviewed Mario games for preschoolers. Funny how that turned out.
Sonic R.
Dude, don't even get me started on that.
Guys, please, settle down. You could both be in the review. But before we start, how much do you, Shadowflare, know about the Illusion series?
Oh, actually, I'm a huge Disney fan. They were my favorite company for a few decades.
I'm guessing not anymore due to setbacks.
Growing up, I idolized the Walt Disney Company. Their output of animated films from the 1970s to the 2010s was truly something to behold. But they also ruined Star Wars, ran Marvel into the ground, and made Wish. Yeah, nowadays a lot of their decisions have been more than a bit questionable, but there's still plenty to love in their backlog. They've had tons of great video games under their belt too, like DuckTales. And do I even need to name drop Kingdom Hearts? I only became aware of the Illusion series fairly recently after you guys covered them. Having played them now, they're definitely solid enough platformers, if more than a touch frustrating at times. When Illusion Island was announced, the timing was a little too perfect. You guys got me interested in this series, so if there's anyone to blame for me being here, it's you.
Okay then, with that being said, let us make our way to Illusion Island.
After reaffirming that it's a Disney game, we see that it was made by De La La Studios, the same company behind the Battletoads remake from 2020?
That's a strange connection. Not Donkey Kong Freddy Krueger strange, but strange.
After a brief seizure warning, you can then choose your save file, the number of players, 4 being the maximum, what characters you want, and what difficult you want, with the Jewel Heart being the easiest, and the regular hearts being more or less difficult, depending on the number of hearts. Unfortunately, this game only has local multiplayer and no online capability whatsoever.
So because of this, I decided to have each of the Fab Four take on one portion of the game. Think of it as a 4x200 relay, or depending on how long each section of the game will be.
I call Goofy!
I guess I can be Donald.
Not so fast, boys.
Oh my gosh, Donald Duck! I'm such a huge fan!
Oh, hi Donald.
I know that.
Wait, Donald? You're joining too?
Of course. As myself.
Okay then. Well, Sonicify, looks like you'll have to be many. Don't worry, you won't have to wear a dress.
Phew! Well, that's a sigh of relief.
Good to hear. Anyway, let's get started.
So Mickey reads a poorly drawn map while trying to find a perfect place for a picnic as he sees Minnie, who also has the same map. Oh, if anyone's familiar with the character design, then that's because it's based off the recent Mickey Mouse shorts. So about the map...
It doesn't even have coordinates or custom embossing.
Wait, custom embossing? Why would you need that? I think coordinates are good enough.
Well, if Tingle taught us anything, it's that map always needs some artistic flair.
They also find Donald hanging upside down on a rope with his foot, also with said map in his hand. Either a coincidence or probably just hanging around. And Goofy's here too, not only with a map in his hand, but also with a GPS.
Goofy positioning system.
So yeah, they all have maps to the island, but they didn't send them to one another. Because of this, they must investigate the area to find out where the maps came from. By the way, this game is separated into different quests to help you toward progression. And first we must ask, what's that sound? Think of it as the tutorial section of the game. You move with the control stick, B to jump, while holding B lets you jump higher, why not have a double jump feature, and these mailboxes are your checkpoints. But unlike the previous Illusion games, the only thing this game lacks is the ability to attack enemies. If you even try to jump on an enemy, you'll just lose health or even die.
You know what would have been nice? The ability to stomp your foes. You know, like in any other game ever.
I guess Mickey took some inspiration, or rather a small portion of it, from Barney's hide-and-seek game.
Disney, everybody. They're a multi-billion-dollar company.
After some exploration, they discover that the noise is coming from behind
A shrubbery! A what?
No, not them. They instead find a magical bookcase. Hey look, the pixie half circle.
We then see, you know what? Let the cutscene explain.
We bid you welcome to the world of Monoth! We are the Hokins, and I am their leader, Toku!
What is with this art style? I get that's supposed to look reminiscent of the newer Mickey Mouse shorts, but it just looks weird and kind of ugly.
Oh, and get used to this opening cutscene, by the way, because it takes forever to finish.
Maybe I should explain what's going on. You see, Monoth is in danger, and they need heroes like the Fab Four to save their world from eternal peril. Also, you gotta love what's happening behind Toku. Do they have a Disneyland in their world? Anyway, remember the bookcase I previously mentioned? It was supposed to hold 3 magical books called the Tomes of Knowledge that contain all the wisdom of their lands. Jeez, where's the super readers when you need them?
Or Twilight Sparkle.
Anyway, without the books in the proper place, then evil will rain down with suffering, misery, death, and destruction.
Let's not get overboard, Jimbo.
Oh, sorry.
Turns out they were each stolen by thieves, and the only way to stop them is to say the magic words,
Miska, Muska, Mickey Mouse!
oh, if only. But no, they're actually, no joke, TBD, 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 TBD.
Wait, are those placeholder words or the actual words?
Yes.
Sounds like how I write my scripts.
Oh, and there's also more rules. No swimming, no fishing, no driving, no burgers, no skating, no duck beating, no ball kicking, and most importantly, no dogs allowed. Wait, does that mean Hux can be in the video?
Hey, dudes!
Apparently not.
No copyright law in the universe is going to stop me!
By the way, I love that the projector is being powered up by a token running on a hamster wheel. It's just that little touch that makes me laugh. Anyway, before departing, Toku hands him a mobile communication device called the Toku app.
Did Mickey steal that from Persona 5?
But yeah, it's up to the Fab Four to retrieve the tomes, stop the thieves, and become true heroes. And from the looks of it, we got a lead. Kinda. It's here we're introduced to Glimpse, allowing you to refill your health meter via hearts and unlock gallery rewards one piece at a time. Also,
Bounce pad!
while trying to reach across Pavonia, they run into a pink buck-toothed aardvark called Mazzy, with the power to invent. So yes, Mazzy provides power-ups to each of the 4. In this case, Mazzy provides the following in order to help them reach longer distances. A jetpack for Mickey, a paper plane for Minnie, and a spicy pepper for Goofy.
Hey, what about me?
Oh, right. For you, Donald, you get...
Nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
What?
Oh, you got something all right.
Phew, that's good.
In fact, this may be the best pickup you've ever gotten.
Really? What is it?
I'm glad you asked.
You now have a rocket that resembles but definitely is not dynamite.
Are you trying to kill me?
No.
Yeah. What he said.
But hey, we have a map in this game, at least it's better than the map in Friday the 13th. With Boost Jump now unlocked, they head their way to Terranium Town, so now things are looking up. Along the way, they must find 3 keys to open locked doors, and if you're lucky, a healing pool that lets you replenish your health. Unless you chose a stone heart that gives you pretty much unlimited health. And I know what you're thinking, no, you're not invincible. But hey, Maggie's back with another power-up, wall jumping.
How did he get past all that?
I have no idea.
Mickey holds the magic pencil, Doodle Bob not included. Minnie gets a climbing tool, and Goofy can fork himself off the walls. And yes, I said fork. Please don't get on to me in the comments.
Hello? You missing anyone?
I don't think Mortimer is in this game.
Not him. Me.
Jeez, Donald, don't get hostile.
Yeah, Donald, you're acting like someone shoved a stick up your hole again.
Donald can now wall jump with a plunger. Wait a minute. Donald has a plunger, and he's wearing a tie. Oh no.
And this time on Crossovers Nobody Asked For, Donald Duck in Plumbers Don't Wear Tie.
Phooey.
Phooey is right.
Oh, and you can also find pieces of memorabilia from his classic cartoons, even one that's now public domain, token cards, and a map piece of each area in the form of once-bitten bread provided by a robot. Eventually, they make it to Terranium Town. Well, the canopy anyway. Seeing that a gate's been locked for 100 years, they run to a smuggler named Dex.
A smuggler? Like Han Solo?
Not really. He does give them a lead on how to get to Terranium Town through the smuggler tunnels. It's like a warp pipe, only not. But hey, they get a smuggler's card allowing them access to smuggler's tunnels, under the tunnels and through the library to a new area, Gizmopolis. And no, it's not a Sonic level. As they activate platforms by bell stomping, they make their way to the admin buildings and through the service tunnels as they jump to their dooms.
Game over, yeah!
Nah, they're perfectly fine, but they do come across the first of the Tome Thieves, a postal worker? But anyway, you defeat her by hopping on every rectangular node, resulting in a capsule orb from Mario Party 5 dropping on her head, all while avoiding spikes either falling or on the ground. Eventually, they defeat the thieves with enough damage orbs. So what exactly happens to the thief after saying TBD 4 times? Yeah, that. They retrieve the first tome entitled Theories of Efficiency, the Tome of Engineering. Eventually, they run into Dex's Uncle Steve in the maintenance room. Apparently, this tunnels are sealed by hard rock, and only a cannon is the only way to break through the rock. But if not, then they have to generate a large downward force. You know what that means? Yep. Visit Mazzy again as you unlock another power-up, the Ground Pound.
Does this mean we can finally damage enemies?
No. But let's see what they got, shall we? Mickey gets to use Oswald's face as a bouncing ball glove, Minnie has a suitcase, and for Goofy...
Donuts. Is there anything they can't do?
And last but not least, Donald gets an anvil.
Isn't that usually a Looney Tunes thing?
What am I, the Roadrunner?
It's here where they run into Dash Dolphin, a journalist for the Daily Monolith. He lends the four his camera, allowing them to take photos of hidden Mickeys secretly scattered around the game.
Like in Kingdom Hearts 3.
They head back to the library where they find a teleporter. Fast travel, ladies and gentlemen. They return to the canopy, but Dex is not there. Seriously, what the Dex is going on? After entering the smuggler's tunnels, they find a bookshelf that's missing a tome. It's here where you can place the Tome of Engineering, and what is going on?
So, Disney presents Dune?
Eventually they arrive at Terrarium Town. Man, this area looks beautiful. As they finally find Dex, who's now given up smuggling and is now a distribution assistant that distributes tributes to the Highness, a giant bird that watches over Pavonia. In addition, he finds an antique book dealer, so the game must traverse a little light reading.
This is light.
But before doing so, they have to find a way to swing by larger gaps. To the Mazzy Room! Mickey channels his inner Ness with a yo-yo, Minnie channels her inner Indiana Jones with a carabiner, Goofy has the meat, and Donald gets a fishing rod, with no lure. Also, because of what the swinging arc looks like, I guess you could say they're swinging by
imagination.
Eventually they encounter Mumblefink, you know, the book deal that Dex talked about. It turns out that these are magical books created by the heroes of Monolith, in which each hero had put a piece of their own passions and magic. However, they can be found upon the head of the Highness, the highest point in Monolith. Few have attempted, but none has succeeded. But now they must begin a novel journey. They climb their way up the ascent when suddenly this guy shows up. Hadrian Hacken. He's a scientist, he always answers in the form of a question, and he's a complete jerkwad.
Sounds like the total package.
Well, boys, looks like we're going on a research trip.
Great! Just what I want to do when playing a video game. Learn.
Not necessarily. After exiting Terrarium Town, the gang head out to Crater Bay.
When you wish upon a star,
makes a pathway to get far. It's here where they find Major Leeward, who just started an annual hide-and-seek championship with no way out. And you'll never guess who they have to find.
Oh.
Clearly the mayor has daddy issues.
Literally.
And that's exactly what you do next. Play hide-and-seek while finding all 5 of his children. And then return to a now happy mayor reunited with his children. But yeah, you have to look everywhere in the area to find all the hiders, without any indication as to where they are. Even the map can't even help you out.
That was a complete waste of time.
You said it.
Like this whole review.
What?
Nothing.
So back to the so-called research trip as they make their way to the research station. However, they find a strong gust of air that can push them upwards. To the Mazzy Cave! With gliding as a new power-up, Mazzy provides the gang a cyclocopter for Mickey, a bow-tie parasol for Minnie, so what, she's Princess Peach now? A mustard ball for Goofy, and for Donald, 2 feathers.
But doesn't he already have feathers? He's a duck!
That can't even fly.
And not gonna lie, this dialogue exchange is pretty funny.
Oh.
Anyway, they make it to the station where they meet 2 scientists named Poi and Yup. Yep, Poi Yup. Or Yuppoi. I tried. It turns out that the research was for cross-biome teleportation, and wait, hold on! How is it that he uses a teleporter and they have to walk the whole way? Donald, do what you do best. Thank you.
Come on, Dodge. Start gifting me harder.
After teleporting to Terrarium Town, they now make their way to the head of the Highness and up to the peak of Pavonia. It's here where they find the second tome, the Tome of Botany. Mission accomplished, let's get moving. Okay, maybe not. Turns out it leads to another boss fight against another thief. With the bird trapped in a crystal cell, I don't know. It summons swing points, and you simply have to keep swinging until it breaks. And a nut will bump the bird's head after all the swing points break. The later phases have you avoid falling flowers and a spike pit. So far, the premise for each boss fight hardly provides any challenge at all.
You got that right, gamer.
Eventually, defeat the bird and repeat the TBD spell, resulting in another... But thanks to the Toku app, Uncle Steve tells the gang that the mail rail generator in Crescent Hamlet is shut down, and they have to go there immediately for the balance of power. But before doing so, they stop at Creator's Bay to place the Tome of Botany in its appropriate bookshelf. And the tree took a life.
Talk about an environmental hazard.
It was also in their entry to Crescent Hamlet, where they find a floating old timer. And apparently she loves everything. Wow, that's the most positive thing I've ever seen. Why can't we all be positive like her?
Maybe if you didn't force me out of my vacation, I would consider that.
They make it to a yellow bell-like button, which then turns on the mail rail generator, allowing you to... rail grind?
What is this, Sonic Adventure 2?
Oh yeah, I forgot! Sega started the series. They take a first-class inquiry route to the mobs at Gizmopolis via teleporter. And what are mobs, you may ask? Morbidly obese pigs?
Mildly old patients?
Madness of Peter Parker?
Oh, it's the Month Official Postal Service. Doy.
Aw, man. I like mine better.
They find an info automatron who speaks in error codes and tells them to find the post officer in her office. But it's here that they've run into a bit of a snag. Remember the first book thief we defeated? Well, it turned out the post officer was the said book thief we defeated.
So it looks like our heroes got incorrectly routed.
Typical for any GPS.
With a blocked delivery chute, they now have to unblock it. Also, with a push of a button, the overall structure of the mobs will change. Don't really know the reason why, but okay. Eventually they make it to the chute room as Uncle Steve is trying to unclog a delivery chute to the sky below. And with a push of a big red emergency button, it reserves the airflow. So now they can go down the sky below, right? Well, they have to find a way to dive into the moon juice. So that just leaves Mazzy with the final power-up of the game, Deep Dive. So for the final time, what do the gang get?
Well, gamer, Mickey gets the amazing fishbowl. The lovable Minnie gets these skua flippers. And for the goofball on the go, a watermelon fresh from the manure fields. Yeah! Congratulations, you three.
Wait, what about me?
Why do you want anything? You're a duck.
Just give me what I want.
All right. For the duck, you've won a straw with a fan attached. That's all the time for now. See you guys real soon.
With Deep Dive, you can now swim through the moon juice while still dashing into rocks as well as avoiding sea-like enemies. And now they can dive into the sky below. After the computer bot tells you about a mob changing button, they teleport over to the sky below, or rather underwater. The air looks great and all, but I don't think it fares any better than the previous Illusion games in my opinion. Unlike the previous games in which you go from one level to another, whether from doors or a map, this game is a giant Metroidvania in which the entire game is one huge level with different looking areas. Anyway, after swimming through the deep realms of the Moon Juice Ocean, and even suspended pool pass, they run into the old timer again. And get this, she has the final tome, and we have to fight her to get it. And then she... Ah! It's Cthulhu! You have to swim through suspended pools and dash into Saturn-like targets while avoiding a cross-sway force-shaped laser beam. No disrespect from Teen Knight Saturn, of course. Even with spikes added in later phases, there's still hardly any challenge with this boss fight. TBD 4 times equals immobilization to Old Timer. And with the final tome received, the Tome of Astronomy, they dropped on the chute as they placed the tome in another bookshelf. Now that's a good way to liven up a party. Literally. Now they have all 3 tomes in their possession, they can now return these overdue books back to the tokens.
So, that's the ending, right?
Yep, as if it wasn't long enough, there's still more. Remember that Toku guy from the beginning? Well, get a load of this!
Toku? I'm not that familiar with magic bookcases. Is it supposed to do that?
Oh, yes. Everything is going exactly according to plan.
That was phrased a little ominously.
I just want to get paid.
Oh, you'll get what's coming to you.
What's coming to you? Huh?
The bookcase separates, which creates a portal, and then...
Quick, Huggins! Grab the books and follow me!
Oh, what a twist.
A twist villain in a Disney property. Never seen that before.
Well, they did start the whole thing in the first place. The tokens take the books to the portal, and the giant bookcase transforms into another book. But not just any book, but the Tome of History.
Ooh, can I tell the story?
Why, sure, Donald. Unless you want the comment section saying this.
Do you have any idea what he's saying?
Sorry.
I think it's best to let us 3 handle this, so here we go.
Long ago in the land of Monoth, 4 rulers have conceived books based on their different expertise and passion within engineering, botany, astronomy, and history. And thus, these 4 magical books became known to everyone as the Tomes of Knowledge, in order to share knowledge to all of Monoth.
But everything changed when one hero, Grayzar of history, turned against his fellow heroes and wanted to destroy the books and harness all the power for himself. This would lead to an epic battle of 3 against 1.
The heroic trio of good Monoth subdue Grayzar long enough to banish him from space and time. Okay. From a portal. And in order to prevent this from happening again, they made a pact to protect each tome of knowledge and to guard them in their own biome, never to see each other again. And even though Monoth was saved, it would all end in a devastating blow.
Big deal. I could have told the whole thing myself.
Not a good time, Donald. Heck, you weren't even paying attention at all.
Nah, I dozed off. History always puts me to sleep.
Not surprising.
But also ironic.
And because they were technically helping Grayzar and the evil tokens, this ultimately would make them...
not heroes?
Even worse, Goofy. Technically, we're the villains!
Okay, that was really funny.
I always wondered what I looked like with that hair.
While also raiding Daisy's wardrobe.
Oh, that duck just got roasted!
So in order to set things right, they must undo the wrongs and set free these so-called thieves and show Toku, as Sonic would put it,
the real superpower of teamwork!
So, any ideas?
How about we say the magic sequence backwards? Instead of TBD, 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 we say TBD, 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 TBD.
Don't you mean DBT, 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 DBT?
With the questionable rules of this world, that might actually work.
Okay, never mind. But the point is we now have to right the wrongs, which happens to be the final quest of the game. And first up, save the post officer in the biome of engineering. And because we have the Tome of History, we can now fast travel to any checkpoint we want to. Need not worry about taking the long way when you have fast travel in your hands. So they make it to the post officer and say the spell backwards, but not really, and therefore free the post officer. While she doesn't take it kindly at first, they promise her to set things right and bring the tomes back to the rightful place. The post officer then tells Mickey and friends to find the other heroes, restore them, and then meet where the bookcase once stood. So after saving Peahen Hero, oh that's what that bird was, and the old timer, they return to the library as they all summon a portal to the final area of the game, Grazar's workshop. One thing I forgot to mention beforehand is that before going to a certain area, it will warn you about content that won't be completed until the story is finished. Though personally, it's best to save all that for the post story. Thankfully, Grazar's workshop is more linear, unlike what I've seen before this. You must venture your way to Grazar while either destroying or avoiding any obstacles. Eventually make it to the workshop and... Mazzy? What are you doing here?
Mazzy? Who is this Mazzy?
Why, you're Mazzy.
Blood pluggers! My name is not Mazzy.
What is it then?
You thought it was Mazzy.
But it was me, Pete!
Not you again!
Excuse me, who are you?
Don't forget it. I'm not even in this game, even though I was in the others.
Yeah, it really was a missed opportunity.
Though to be fair, it's probably for the best.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Actually, this is Grazar from the previously mentioned backstory. With the power of his scepter, he starts the boss fight. While he's armed with downward cone-shaped blast, you can then defeat Grazar by using the same methods as the previous boss fights. Honestly, why use the same method as before but making it more difficult?
Because variety is for chumps.
Eventually they break the crown. Not only does defeat Grazar, but he's also back to his normal self. It turns out that he was under control by, guess who?
Toku.
Toku?
I'm assuming by your perfectly pitch perplexion that you met.
Yes!
Maggie thought the crown would look nice on him. That is until, of course, the mind control thing. Oh, and the Tokopedia app? That was also Toku's doing.
What a twist!
And another plot twist. Toku happened to be Mazzy's apprentice, not knowing that Toku would turn heel on Mazzy.
Gee, so Toku was the evil mastermind all along.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Sorry to change the subject, but earlier in our journey, when you would appear to us, why did you say your name was Mazzy?
Mazzy is the nickname post officer gave me when we were younger, and it stuck.
Why, Mazzy?
She said it was because I was mad and sassy.
With the workshop still intact, Mickey and the gang are still able to stop Toku once and for all. But before doing so, Mazzy wrote the following words on a piece of paper: wither, dismantle, implode, end. Okay? So they make it to the top of the workshop as Toku performs a demonic ritual with the tomes, I guess to destroy them, only to be interrupted by Mickey and the gang as they do whatever it takes to get the books back.
Please, give us the books.
No, wait! I'm under a spell by Grazar. He's controlling my mind with this hat, see?
The hat you just took off?
Yes! No, a different hat. An invisible one. Underneath this one, a sub-hat. That's a thing here.
Liar!
Not even your Hokan army can help you. Oh wait, they're gone.
The only reason I did it was because my whole life I've been treated badly. Ignored, not taken seriously. All on account of...
Yeah, well, so is this guy. And he's a better villain than you!
Every day, every one of us has to dig down deep inside to find that little bit of heroism. For us, it was being brave enough to accept your mission, and then undertake all the dangers we faced. And when we found out you tricked us, well, we had to be courageous enough to admit we were wrong and work hard to undo what we'd done. But that's what being a hero is all about.
And this leads to what I think is one of the lamest Disney villain defeats I've ever seen.
Oh, give me a break, would ya? I never said I wanted to be a hero. I said I wanted to rule Monoth. And now, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. When I absorb the power of the tomes, all of Monoth will tremble before my mighty leadership! I'm winded. The land is on my neck.
That was easy.
But oh no! Toku has started the spell, therefore destroying the books and the workshop, thankfully making the game stop the spell by saying in unison, wither, dismantle, implode, and end. While it does fix the books, it doesn't stop the workshop from collapsing, which leaves only one option: perfecting the Joestar family's secret technique. You basically play in the same level but going backwards, as in get from the end to the beginning. By the way, this purple wavy void is an insta-kill, even with a stone heart. So you better be quick, because if you get caught in it, no matter what progress you made, then you have to start that level all over again.
Meanwhile, Mazzy explains to the heroic trio what happened in the past few minutes, crown and all. But lo and behold, Mickey and the gang return bandaged, bashed, and bruised. Don't worry, they're fine in the very next shot.
They return the books, but for some reason, they have a change of heart. Instead, they hand the books back to Mickey and the gang. Why? Because they truly are the heroes.
You may not have been the heroes these tomes were created for, but you are the ones they need.
It's complicated, but it's pretty awesome when you think about it.
Meanwhile, in the portal, we see Toku's minions about to beat up their own leader.
Ah, so Toku gets the star treatment, in which Toku gets killed by his own minions. Okay, not really, but he does get what he deserves. A good flat-out beating. So the three heroes poof away. Mazzy says goodbye, but not before he gives Mickey and friends the picnic that they wanted, and a humongous statue of Mickey and friends.
I'm not gonna go kidding. That was me. I'm sorry.
And that concludes the main story of the game. On the new DLC!
It was revealed on June 16th via Nintendo Direct that this game would get some new features as well as DLC. For starters, we have Mystery in Monoth. There have been some clues popping up in Monoth, and the Fab Four are called in to help. By whom, you may ask? Why, none other than Dash Dolphin. Yeah, remember him? Dash calls upon the Fab Four to uncover each piece of evidence as seen photographs scattered around each area, and connect the pins to pinpoint where each secret is hiding in that specific area. There are even some mods that mainly unlock time trial stages like in Crash Bandicoot, with time deductors and everything.
Other than that, it's pretty much it. You can simply use the remainder of the post-game and just look for any other goodies you previously missed.
So, boys, what do you think of this new game?
Well, Donald, all I can say is...
As someone who's reviewed all the Illusion games besides the debatable one, this might be the least memorable in my opinion. I get the developers were trying to do something different with the Metroidvania style, and that's fine, but the truth is, it would have been nice to have all the classic Illusion games as a compilation game, like Super Mario 3D All-Stars. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The overall look of this game is pretty good. It does capture the Mickey Mouse source from the 2010 era, but honestly, I much prefer the classic version that we all love and adore. Gameplay-wise, I think it's fine. It's pretty cool getting to see Mickey and friends use different items for the same power-up purpose, and some of them are just hilarious in my opinion. My only letdown is the boss fights. Even though it has more obstacles in each phase, they just seem too basic for me. I was also a bit disappointed knowing that this game only had local multiplayer, but even then, having online multiplayer could lead to messy results. While the music isn't that memorable, I kinda like the game's story in regards to its plot and conflict. And yeah, it does have some Disney cliches that we're familiar with, primarily the liar villain revealed during the endgame. Overall, Disney Illusion Island is an okay game. While the game does have its audience, I think fans of the classic Illusion games will soon get tired once it's finished. Definitely not a game that I want to pick up again.
Disney Illusion Island has to be one of the most confusing games I've ever played. I seriously don't know who this game was intended for. If it was meant to revive the Illusion series for nostalgic fans, well, it's nothing like those games, so you lost that audience. If it's aimed more towards younger kids, well, that just makes tying it to a 30-year-old series more baffling. especially since without the name, this game has so little connecting it to the Illusion series that you could have called it Mickey Mania 2 and it would have made just as much sense. But all that, I could mostly ignore. The big problem is the gameplay. A lot of it just consists of running through areas. Without any combat, the traversal just isn't as engaging as something like Cave Story or Castlevania. The story does have that quirky Disney charm, but it's nothing I'd write home about. I'm probably going to forget about it as soon as this video ends.
This game is basically taking what worked in the previous Illusion series and throwing it all away. Not only does it not work as a Mickey Mouse game, let alone one in the Illusion series, not only does it not work as a Disney game in general, but it doesn't even work as a standalone game. I guess it's trying to be like a Metroidvania game like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but unlike that game where it involved clever problem solving, lots of strategy, and what's that other thing that game had? Oh yeah, it allowed you to attack! This game is painfully easy to figure out, as well as painfully easy to play with no strategy, and no way to attack anybody. And I know what you're about to say in the comments. But Sonicify, it's made for little kids. Well, I say that's a load of crap, because even the most basic kids game, even for very little kids, at least make you feel smarter when playing it, and had way more effort put into it. I mean, seriously. Tigger's Honey Hunt on the PlayStation 1 had way more effort put into it. And yeah, there was no way to attack in that game either, but at least it made you feel like a game that had way more effort put into it to look like the source material, as well as be a fun game, and made you feel good while playing it. But this game, it's just boring with a capital B.
And the moral of the story is, without me, or whatever that evil queen lookalike was, you can't have a good game in the Illusion series.
I think there's more to it than that.
And I should know, because I was forced into it last time.
Well, you can't win them all.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks guys for helping me out.
You're welcome, Gamer. Anyway, I'm ready to going. I hope this just did some of me.
Alright, see you, Donald.
Bye-bye. Be good.
Yeah, I guess I better go too. Busy times. For the last time, I did not order a giant trampoline.
Well, I'm out. Later. Gotta find my old shirt again.
Okay. Anyway, I'm the Fairly Odd Gamer, and I wish you all good luck for the rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Take care, everyone.
Before you leave a comment, I was going to wear a Mickey Mouse shirt, but I lost it, and so this is the next best thing. I had to wear this instead. Still a Disney property, though. See you next time, Internet.
Oh, hello there! I'm Scrooge McDuck, the richest duck in the world. And if you like what the Fairly Odd Gamer has to offer you when it comes to video game reviews, then why not donate to his Patreon page as well? In addition to exclusive access to Discord, as well as extra bonus features, your name will also be seen right here next to me, like Luke Jeffers and Scarlet the Hedgehog. And trust me, they are definitely worth their weight in gold. Thanks for watching the video, supporting the channel, and filling up my money bin even more. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna have to go check up on the boys. Lord knows what they've been doing these days. Ah, curse me kilts, I hope they're not spending too much time on that TikTok or whatever it is.